Hey everybody, so if you didn't know, earlier today I had a stream with Hazel, Opex-Rah. I don't think that's how you pronounce it because it's a Russian name, but I had a stream with him. It was awesome. We went over a ton of different questions. It was honestly a really good stream, and I appreciate him reaching out and kind of starting this whole thing, because yesterday he reached out, says, hey, we should go hop in a stream. You guys can ask me questions. I was like, sure. So the next day, started the stream, and he answered all the questions that the detective and I all came up. Jumper was also in the call. Mr. Gore was in the call. It was honestly a really good stream. So today I'll be going over all the questions we asked and giving you guys the answers that he gave us. Now, the original live stream is going to be the first link in the description. I highly recommend you guys watch that first. Just listen to the entire live stream. It is 2 hours, but you know, if you have the time, just put it on the background. He says a ton of stuff that I think was really beneficial to hear, and it gives me hope in the game right now. I would recommend going to watch that first link in the description. Let's go ahead and dive into all of what Hazel said. It was a lot, over 2 hours. Let's get into it.
We still need to support keys for Android, but we're not doing that right now because we are confident that the HTML5 version will be ready by that time. But will it though? I'm not sure, because I have the end date, like the deadline, and it's not that far away, and I'm not sure. We will be able to how fast support, seriously, how fast support the Android for the keys. We'll see how it goes. I'm really sorry for all our mobile players, because we have neglected the mobile version for quite a while right now.
All right, so we first talked about HTML5 coming to mobile. You guys heard what he said. There's basically a deadline coming very soon, hopefully within the next month or two, where HTML5 will finally come to the mobile version of the game. And I know there's a lot of mobile players out there who just want to play the game and play these events, and hopefully within the next month or two we can get that. I'm not a huge mobile player though, so this wasn't a huge topic for me. It was just hopefully getting the answers to help the mobile version players. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be updated soon.
Back in the day, when the Tanki Online hit crazy good numbers, 130,000 peak concurrent players, that's a lot for any game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like, oh my god, many games would kill for that. There was a point when we had more numbers than War Thunder for quite a while. So what happened and why this happened? And some people think that game was better than this one. It's not entirely true. I mean, that was a very different game back then, because for many reasons. It was stripped down, very basic. But this wasn't the reason why there were so many players. We're trying to understand that for a long time, so I know what I'm talking about. The reason why there were so many players back then is that because the Tanki Online was the only game in 3D on Flash.
So this response first came from the detective and I asking what made the game so popular back then, and as you can tell, the main reason was because it was so unique of a Flash game when it came out, or at least when it started getting promoted a lot. Because you have to remember, Tanki promoted a ton in 2015, and that was a large reason for its growth back then. But yeah, Hazel's basically talking about what made it kind of pander to such a large audience then, and he also is going to start going into how development has grown from then. But let's go hear what he has to say.
I mean, I remember that back in the day, and the producer at the time of the project told me that after sergeant rank, even before the warrants, most of the players left the game, and that was 2013, right? Okay. It's before the game hit the maximum numbers. This game was bad. Bad, capital bad. But the amount of people coming in was just insane. It was ludicrous. I mean, Tanki Online, on the other hand, did not die at the moment when we stopped advertising. I mean, it was 2015. It's 2023. It's been 8 years. It went from 130,000. It went down to, I don't know what the last number you've seen, maybe 10,000 or something like that. The number went down to really a lot. I mean, we lose all the fat. But in the game development, it went other way around. And this is the most interesting part about this game, because right now the development team have more confidence in the game than before that, for many reasons that I might try to explain on the stream. Okay. Right now, this game is stable. I can tell you that. So we're not going down too much.
All right, so here Hazel says the player base or the player count is actually pretty stable right now, and that the developers of the game are super confident in the game's ability to grow. This is pretty big, because a lot of people will say, yeah, Tanki's preparing for the end here. They're not confident in their game anymore. They're ready for it to end. So it was a pretty big boost hearing that the Tanki developer team is confident right now. They're the most confident they've ever been, and I thought that was really interesting.
Like we are trying to, we're trying with a small advertising just to test it, a little bit of tests here and there. This is why we cannot shut up about the beginning of the game on the vlogs. Even if you don't see it, we've changed actually a lot because for 5 years the game didn't have a tutorial. Like for 10 years, the game didn't have a tutorial. And right now there's things been changing and bots made a huge difference. Like, oh my God, the people start playing the game, at least for a few ranks. It's like huge difference, you know? And we have starting to feel where we can find the people to play the game, you know, not like you don't need a mainstream advertising. Basically what's happened is the advertising is working better and better with each iteration we get. And less and less people live in the game. Okay.
All right. Advertising, a big point that I wanted to bring up in the stream or the interview with Hazel. Advertising. So they've started to slowly advertise. Now they're adding a bunch of things to keep players playing, right? They're not going to advertise the game if they can't keep the players. So they're adding bots. They're keeping players longer. When they added bots, more players were playing for a few ranks longer. That was good news. They've started to kind of target these advertising campaigns and they're learning what the best ways to advertise the game are. So hopefully when Tanki's at the point to start advertising, we'll see a massive amount of advertising and a massive amount of growth from the advertising. This was awesome to hear, just to know that they have money saved up for advertising and that they are going to start advertising when the time comes.
There will be a grenade specifically made to protect you. Yeah, there will be different types of grenades and you will have options to protect you. First of all, when you throw a grenade, if you have a striker aiming at you or a Gauss, his aim will be turned off at the moment. He will have to re-aim at you from the beginning. And yeah, we'll have smoke grenades, guys. And they will work because Valorant, okay? And it's also a troll weapon because do you guys hate campers in your own team?
I hate campers in
I
general.
hate that a lot.
I'm a very fast-paced player, so.
Okay, so picture this. If you have a bunch of campers sitting on your base and you hate them really, really, really much, if you hate them more than your enemy team, where will your smoke grenade will go?
So smoke grenades. Hazel also talked about a bunch of new different types of grenades coming to the game. Like you'll have this one that'll create this barrier kind of, not a shield, but a barrier that people can't shoot through. Honestly, pretty cool. But he went into how these smoke grenades and the various different grenades they add to the game can help motivate your team to actually be offensive, because everyone knows how annoying it is sometimes when your team is just sitting in the back. So you're forced to 1v10 to go get the flag. You're forced to 1v10 to go cap the flag and assault. So these new grenades, although I wasn't super optimistic about them being the difference we need in Tanki, I think with smoke grenades, with barrier grenades, I'm not sure if they wanted to add stun grenades, but all these different grenades I think are a pretty cool design and they could definitely impact the game more than I originally thought. We talked a lot more about future grenades, kind of like Molotov grenades maybe. I recommend watching the entire stream to get more details about that though.
The tank are dying too fast right now. We can see it and we have tools to fix it, okay?
Okay.
So we're not looking for the game to become faster and faster and faster. You know, like we don't want to turn this game into a normal arena shooter because arena shooters are dead. I think 2 years ago, we tried and pushed the HP of every hull twice as much. If you remember that experiment, it was bad. I mean, the game felt bad. Like the people just pushing one another, couldn't kill. The shooting was not fun at all. And we were like, okay, this is not how it goes, and we still need to add fun augments so you can have ways to kill people instantly. But on the other hand, we need to add some tools, and it's not only the smoke grenade. Okay, there will be others. I mean, like we need some countermeasures, and I'm literally going to make a countermeasure grenade. And I'm not going to tell you what it's going to do, but it's going to be hilarious. Okay. We know how to fix it. It just will take a few time. The bots, they really helped, like tremendously, immensely helped. Yeah. But we need more of the bots. We need the bots mixed with players. We need to make a few games when you have a few players on your team and a few players on the enemy team, and the rest of them are bots.
Here, Hazel talks about the time to kill being massively faster than it was in the past just because of the augments that kill you faster. He was saying they have tried to increase the health of all holes in the past, and it was a failure. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think I played all that much when that update came to the game. He also said adding bots can help kind of deter people from dying super fast, especially at lower ranks. Higher ranks, I'm hoping we maybe see a 20% health increase for light holes at least.
Have some.
One of the main questions I'm seeing a lot is what's going on with pulsar and status effects.
You need to stay cool for another week, and then there will be a patch that will address it.
All right, pulsar, another thing a lot of you guys have been asking for. It's been especially bad these last few months, and honestly the status effects in general. So there is an update coming in a week. It may have been already out by the time you see this video, but an update is coming to hopefully decrease pulsar and the status effects that we go against. Hazel also mentioned that the main reason pulsar is so effective right now is because the new freeze pulsar was added. That's really good, and Vulcan was heavily buffed, so everyone's using Vulcan pulsar. Now I can agree to that. I also think it's not just pulsar that's definitely annoying. I think it's just status effects in general are a bit too frequent. But yeah, it's definitely gotten worse since Vulcan was buffed, and he talks a lot more about it. It's just he talks about it for a pretty long time, so I'd recommend checking out the original live stream to hear the entire conversation about it.
You know, like I tried to do that with Phoenix augments, right? Yeah. Some sort of a progression. It's bullshit. I know, 5 million points. So like, anyway, it's one way to do it. So yeah, I know that's a lot. I know it's a reason why. You know, so the players, when they have this Phoenix in the top, and other players can see them having Phoenix in the top, all the game would be like, oh my god, are you crazy? You did that. Sorry, swearing. Anyway, this is why I made it for the 5 million points.
So yeah, unfortunately, Phoenix is 5 million, but they have that for a reason. They want people to think of it as this coveted item, and it definitely will remain that way if they keep it at 5 million. So
back to my own understanding of what is the best progression for the game is like changing through the time. And right now, I think it's kind of, you need both. Like you need a paid skins but you still need like not the worst, like you don't need the bad skins to be just for progression. No, you need the good skins. They need to look unique. So when you equip a certain skin, you need to know that this guy had bought this skin on Halloween. This guy had bought his skin on the UFO day, and this guy grinded this stuff. Oh my god, that's the best feature ever. I'm so angry we cannot still make skins that can transform, but trust me, when we'll be able to make them, we will make them. There will be transforming skins in Tanki. We just need to make certain updates to the game engine so to make it happen, but we will do it. Okay, we will have transforming tanks back because oh my god, that feature was awesome.
So this response here was in relation to asking about M1 through M3 skins coming back to the game. So Hazel did express interest in bringing them back to the game, which is really cool. Maybe we'll get them someday. And this also led to adding transformative skins, because if you guys remember Tanki X, when you'd use double armor, double damage, your tank actually would change depending on what supply you're using. So I think that's kind of what he was pertaining to. We'll get hopefully more new cool skins that you can buy, because obviously that's how it's going to be with the free-to-play game. And then hopefully we'll get more progression skins, which you can actually earn for free. And then we actually talk about contracts later in the video, so stay tuned for that.
Basically, right now it's the first time ever that Tanki Online is using all the money the Tanki Online earning on themselves. Right?
Yeah,
we are not making any side projects. All the money we earn go back into Tanki. And so to let you know, okay, this is why I'm telling you that the team right now is more people than before and more confident in the project, and we have more money. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like you see our online, you see how many players gain. You think it's other way around, like we don't have money, we are about to close or something like that, right? No, it's like sitting on a huge pile of money. It's ready to make a market push, but it's not doing that. Because why? Because the start of the game had no tutorial. Why would you market the game if you know it doesn't work in the beginning of the game? Like if you know the people, if you don't market it, you don't waste money, just to waste money. Mm-hmm. So right now this game is in a, and this is another thing you need to understand. 2 years ago, the new strategy was meant for the project, right? To renovate it. And the renovation is like a huge stuff, because it's not like you need to fix the previous augments and stuff like that. No, it's way worse. You have a project that were neglected for 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. Technically speaking. It had 3 engines running, like outdated Flash, stuff like that. And you're like, oh my God. And you need to support all of this. You need to clean this up. You need to update the engine. You need to make certain things work. You need to fix the bugs. You need to fix the tutorial. And you need to make it while you have the live ops running, like live operations, events and stuff like that, all at the same time. And this is why we're not telling you what is going on. Because when I started this new strategy, I see it that way. Before, Tanki told the players many things, like, this is going to be Tanki 2.0. We will grow immensely. We'll do this, do that, and we'll change things. And it didn't happen. So if I would told you that we have certain plans that are going to definitely work, you won't believe me. Why would you? This is why we're not telling what is going on. until we are ready. So this is why we see that the number of players going a bit down. We have less money than before, but still, you need to understand this game is still making millions, like dollars, like yearly. Okay. Like shit tons of money. This is why we're just quietly doing our thing. It will take, I don't know, maybe another year, but you will see the changes. I mean, at some point, we won't be able to hide things anymore, and you will realize what is going on. At some point, I said we're going for not just one game engine, and this kind of a spoiler. Anyway.
All right, that segment was pretty long, but I wanted it to all be out there. Hazel was saying over the last 10 years, up until about 2 years ago, the game was kind of neglected in terms of adding new stuff and updating it for 2020 plus. So now they've been doing that over the last 2 to 3 years, and they've been making decent money. That was a big thing I was happy to hear, is Tanki's actually making a decent amount of money. I mean, I would assume it with the prices in shop these days, which we'll talk about later. But that was honestly really refreshing to hear, that Tanki is making good money and they're ready to show us what they've been doing over the last 2 years, and that there's a huge thing coming. Now, we've seen all these new skins trickle, all the new updates slowly trickle into updates, but it sounds like we got something really big coming soon, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think about that one in the comments below.
So what are the prices? Yeah, that's intentional. Yeah, the lollipop with crystals, that's intentional. That's kind of an experiment. It doesn't make sense. Yet it might work, though I'm not sure that we will try it again, because, you know, we will see how it works. Is people okay with that or not? It's basically, if you want to do it faster, you need to pay a bit more crystals to do it faster. It's a strange logic, but we tried, because these days we experiment with our live ops event a lot, and it works. I mean, oh my god, it works.
All right, Hazel talks about the prices of lollipops being so expensive. So he says it is an experiment and it's not likely going to happen again in the future. I'm not sure exactly what they're experimenting it for, maybe to see if the buyers are actually willing to spend that many crystals for lollipops, but it's an experiment, I guess. So that's the answer to that.
From now on, and you will see it after the new year especially. Yep. First of all, there's like common boxes, so that's standard boxes right now, like standard containers, right? They are going to be completely free to play. You cannot buy them right now. You won't be able to buy them after they're going to be with the keys. And there will be a certain update to standard containers that you're going to like. And I'm not going to spill the beans, because you'll need to wait. But you will realize why it's going to be. I mean, it's not only that they're going to yield you epic keys, right? It's not only that. There's going to be something more, and you're going to love it.
All right, so you may be wondering what Hazel was talking about there. So this was pertaining to a question we asked about container awards. Will they get better? This was one a lot of people were interested in. So he talked about the new key system update coming, and then he also talked about common containers and how they are going to have a new reward, or they're going to be changed in a way that will enjoy them a lot. I'm not sure all the details on that. Hopefully we'll see them by the end of the year, what he says. Yeah, that's the new container awards. That's the answer we got for updated container awards.
For a while, because contracts, they have a place in the game, certain place. They actually a substitute for the containers, for the loot boxes. Right? And they are this kind of a substitute when they actually allow you to get things that you want for playing the game. Just, you want the skin, okay, you will get the skin, but you need to play this game for this much.
It will be very difficult, like trophy missions, but you'll be able to specifically choose.
Yeah.
All right, contracts. First little bit we've gotten about contracts. It looks like something you can purchase maybe, or something you can do to get skins that you want, and you can select those contracts, and they may be for new skins, old skins. I'm not sure the exact details. We talk about it a little bit more in the stream about when they're coming out. It seems like they'll hopefully be coming out with the container update, or at least around the container update. So there's what we know about contracts. I recommend you guys watch the full stream to know more about what else we talked about involving contracts. What happened with the bomb cart game mode? You guys talked about
it. We talked, and I still think that this game mode should replace Assault. Because Assault is kind of hard to balance on different maps.
Yeah, that's the most.
But it's like it's not a priority at the moment.
I didn't think this was that important to put in, but bomb cart game mode, back priority, replace Assault, maybe within the next year or two. When you like load in between different menus, like say you go to your garage mid game, or you open the shop randomly, it'll just infinitely load, and you have to restart your game.
That's entire problem with DDoS recently, and the way we fixed it, and we're still working on it. So we know like the resources are being loaded with mistakes. So there are certain problems, okay? After we've implemented the anti-DDoS protection that is actually working and can prevent DDoS, the ping for everyone went up.
Yeah.
That's the consequence of that protection. Oh yeah.
We got an answer to why a lot of our pings are so high right now and why there's the random infinite loading in between different screens in the game. It's because of the new DDoS protection they added. Hopefully it'll be fixed soon.
The next one is, any plans to add new hulls and turrets? Yes, though I am not looking for forward for any more hovering hulls for reasons. We had enough of them. I have a plan for a certain hull that is actually normal tank hull, with and about the turrets, yes, we have plans, though we are discussing them because we have enough turrets that have this double game mode, like you can hold the button, you can push the button. So we haven't released a turret that just pew pew pew, just push the button and make people go die or something like that. So we need to look into it. I'm thinking about different kinds of turrets.
This was just some info on some new turrets and holes coming to the game, maybe getting a new turret in the future. But Hazel did say it's not priority right now because I'll be honest, we definitely already have enough turrets and holes at the moment, especially with the amount of augments. But yeah, they do have plans to add a bunch of new turrets and a bunch of new holes.
The art team is on the remaster right now, but I'll tell you this, it's not one map, it's several maps.
Oh, cool.
There will be a bunch of several maps at once. It's not the bridges, and you're not going to believe which map they are, but I'm sure we will try to, at least in the next year, they will certainly be in the game.
Got some more news on the HD maps coming out, and it looks like when the next one does come out, it's going to be multiple maps and some unexpected maps, so maybe future or something. But yeah, HD maps are coming out soon.
Okay, so about the unbalanced augments, I've kind of answered that previously. So it happens when they release, but eventually they brought in line, because eventually all the augments make into the standard containers, like the healers augment recently, and we have the next augments plan to do that. We will have eventually we'll have all the status augments in the container, so they will be balanced accordingly. If you think about it, we haven't updated the.
Here we have another answer to what they're going to do with all the OP augments. They're all eventually going to be added to normal containers, and they will be nerfed accordingly. That's what he says. And so that's good news.
Gunshot effects for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
And we have hinted that we're working on it, but it takes time to make it happen. We've only managed to update the explosion of the grenade, and the explosion of the tank is still on pause for some reason. And we have new railgun shot already in pipeline, but
cool.
It will take time to implement, and then we'll be able to make a different color, and not only just a color, different types of effects for turrets.
A few people ask if we're getting new shot effects, so there's the answer. Yes, we are.
This is anti-cheat.
Okay.
This is what's going on, and that certain anti-cheat, what it does, it stops the tank when it's flying. And in parkour, the anti-cheat is turned off. That's the only difference.
Okay.
So we didn't really fix it. We just turned it off, So this is why it's not happening in matchmaking, because if we do that, the players, there will people just flying for the goals.
And then there, for you parkour lovers, unfortunately, the anti-cheat was turned off for parkour, so they could get the old parkour physics. But they will have to basically redo the entire anti-cheat system if they want to add the parkour physics to normal games. So it's a bit harder than we originally thought. So maybe something will change in the future, and we'll get it in the future.
Yeah, the biggest misconception that the Tanki player base has. Well, I basically tried to explain that in the beginning of the stream. So you think like the game is falling down and is doing worse and worse and worse. And for developers, it's like the other way around. Like finally we can do stuff, we can fix stuff, we can make stuff happen and stuff. It will take a few more years, but we are ready to make that happen. So
again, it really sounds like they have a plan, and that's so refreshing to hear. And Hazel also mentions they've always been working on other projects like Tanki X, Tanki 2.0, Tanki HD, all these other projects, mobile apps, and this is the first time in history that they've had every single person in Tanki Online working solely on Tanki Online. So that's really nice to hear.
We are not having a lot of tools to protect our own tanks right now. We have more offensive tools. We need some defensive tools. So that's what I'm looking for. The grenades, standard grenades, are like both offensive and somewhat defensive, because you can throw them back so the players will not pursue you. But it's not the same as to having a grenade that outright, for example, heal you, for example, something like that. Yeah, so, we are trying a prototype of a thing that is somewhat like a shield, but it's not a shield like in Tanki X. It's like a foam grenade. It's basically the grenade that creates a block of foam. in the middle of the game, and you cannot shoot through it. So it's like an obstacle.
Again, the grenades, they have a lot of plans with grenades. It honestly sounded a lot more interesting when Hazel explained it all, so now I am pretty intrigued with them.
You remember the missions where you had like 999 kills or something like that?
Yeah.
Are you planning to add this for something like better rewards?
So let me put it this way. This is basically contracts. It's like that. It's almost like that. It's like paid missions that you can just get in and you can do. Yeah, I did. So we need to like rebuild the core on the fly. It's kind of hard, but we're halfway there. And when we'll announce our big plans, you will realize that what we were doing is making sense, and you will be on board. I'm not sure that Russian players will be on board, but it's. I'm sure it will happen next year. You will learn it, and you will see what we're going to do, and you realize how big it is.
Okay.
And I'm not going to know. I hinted a lot already. Yeah. I'm not going to say any other word, because if I say anything, you will realize instantly what is going on.
Okay. Not exactly sure what this is. Also wanted to talk about the lagging servers. Tanki does plan to add more servers, like United States server, all of that stuff. And then now it's time to talk about all the different grenades coming to the game for the last part of the video.
We're going to give you tools to make campers' lives worse. And like the smoke grenades, the certain countermeasure. I mean, the grenades itself is the best anti-camper tool ever. Like, I'm playing the game right now, and the campers, they like blind, right? They shoot in a certain cone, they don't see anything, and they hide on a purchase or something like that above or below you. And you just like accurately throw the grenade, and they like stand in, and the grenade like, explodes, and they get their heads flying off, and so there is. So this is one way to put it. So the grenades is actually anti-camper weapon, and there will be specialized anti-camper grenades. So I'm sure you're gonna like it. Oh, you know what? I have a list of the grenades I want to make. The one of them is called the fireworks. Okay, this is just a fun grenade to have on the weekends and stuff like that. But when I tried it, I realized that I can actually make a huge explosion out of the fireworks, like a damaging explosion. But it happens above the tank, so it doesn't damage anyone except for hoppers. Right? So you will have the grenade that's specifically made so any hopper above you will instantly die. Okay? It's like fireworks go to hell grenade. It's a great stuff. So the grenades is actually cool. So I really hope it's gonna. I mean, I'm really careful with implementing grenades, because adding something to the core of the game 10 years after is like a pain in the ass. But I'm really like trying to make it, and actually the recent clip when Taspens playing and like using grenades and complaining the grenades are too hard to use, and then he have a grenade moment, and I was showing these grenade moments to my colleague, and I was like, this is what we're looking for. Okay, he complains about how hard it to use, but when he knows when it's going to work, he throw it, and he got them obliterated the enemy. This is why I'm doing them hard to use. I don't want them to be used as another damage tool, because this is not what we need. We have augments, we have another stuff to deal damage. We need certain stuff to make enemy player move to react on your actions. This is why grenades are so hard, and they hard to use, they slow to explode. But when they explode, goddamn! I mean, when you throw at that point, it was like a grenade moment that was really, really fun. This is what we're looking for.
Well, that's the edited up version of the live stream. Again, I missed so much stuff in this video. If you want to get the full experience, everything that Hazel said, please watch the live stream. It's public on my channel. First link in the description. Go watch that, guys. There's so much more to talk about. Let me know what you guys think about what Hazel said today, all the information he gave us. I'm honestly super, super hyped. There's so much he gave us and so much to look forward to now, and I'm really impressed. But yeah, don't forget to tune into that full live stream. Thanks again, Hazel, for doing this. I appreciate it. It gives me and hopefully you guys a lot more hope in the game. Don't forget to use creative tag Taspens. I'll see you in a future video. Peace out, everyone.